health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health TV and radio show. I'm your host, Sarah Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of three. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you're notified every week with my new podcasts on Mondays and Tuesdays. And if you haven't already, join my free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. There is no downside. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health, and you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. The protocols and supplements I discuss are all found at sarahbantahealth.com. We are talking about dirty fasting versus clean fasting. Which fasting method is best? And I actually don't even like the word dirty because that assumes that it's not good. Well, intermittent fasting is a hot topic, and there are many opinions about what constitutes a fast, the length of a fast, and how to do intermittent fasting correctly. I've gone through that. Make sure you take a look at my podcast on intermittent fasting and some of the benefits. I've written articles about this. There's so much information on my website, but here we're talking about dirty fasting. So with the intermittent fasting, one controversy is the concept of dirty versus clean. And you think, well, dirty, that just means it's bad, right? Well, no. A dirty fast and a clean fast are two different approaches to fasting that people may choose to follow depending on their fasting goals and preferences. There's so many benefits to fasting. So what is your goal? And then you can back into how you're going to fast. A dirty fast generally refers to a fast where a person consumes 0-calorie beverages or supplements such as coffee, tea, supplements that might actually enhance the fasting. And they may also consume some small amounts of food or beverages with low-calorie content such as bone broth, apple cider vinegar, or lemon water. The idea is to maintain a state of fasting while still providing the body with some nutrients and hydration. On the other hand, a clean fast refers to a stricter form of fasting where a person consumes only water, maybe even black coffee or tea during that period. This approach aims at keeping the body in a state of complete fasting with no intake of calories or nutrients. Some people even say that black coffee or tea creates a dirty fast. So, that's debatable. Which team are you on, everybody? Both dirty fasting and clean fasting can be effective for weight loss, improved insulin sensitivity, and other health benefits associated with fasting. However, some people find dirty fasting more sustainable and easier to stick with, while others prefer clean fasting for its more rigorous approach. And depending on your goals, that is going to determine how you fast. And it's not just black or white. There's a whole gray area in between the clean fast and the dirty fast. So this does not mean that dirty fasts don't come with benefits. Weight loss may be harder on a dirty fast. Actually, my way of dirty fasting might actually make weight loss a lot easier. So that's debatable. When you're dedicated to some of the way of fasting, consistency is going to win in the long run, right? Some clean fasting fans generally oppose any supplements being taken during a fasting window. And this may be misleading as there are supplements that will not break a fast and will actually enhance the benefits of fasting. And that's what I'm going to get to. So let's take a look at just the benefits of fasting in general. when deciding on it, what your goals are, then let's back in. The first important thing is to take a look at the benefits. And then we will look at what kind of fasting you're going to do. So the benefits of fasting: improve insulin sensitivity and lowering blood sugar. Insulin resistance is when the body is pre-diabetic and it stops listening to the signal of insulin. It's like being the mom and you're yelling at your kids over and over again. And do the kids listen? No. And then dad comes in and whispers something and they listen, right? So we want to get our cells to listen to insulin and be able to bring that blood sugar down. Insulin resistance and toxicity are the two things that are driving chronic disease, fatty liver. Most people with chronic disease have fatty liver. So we need to focus on loving our liver and cleaning our liver. Well, insulin sensitivity is a big part of that, and intermittent fasting or long fasting can help reverse that reverse the insulin resistance and the fatty liver. Another benefit is enhancing fat loss because you're lowering that insulin resistance, boosting the metabolism, triggering autophagy, which we'll get into in a minute, enhancing ATP and mitochondrial health. That ATP is your cellular energy. The more it's boosted up, the more energy we have, the more our immune system is on target, and we are feeling better physically, mentally, and we're actually starting to reverse age. It enhances fat burning by entering a state of ketosis. So you're either burning fat or you're burning sugar. You've got these two fuel systems, and fasting is one of the quickest ways to get your body into a state of ketosis. Your body says, oh my God, I've got tons of calories on my body of fat to burn. Why do I need to eat? I'm not hungry. And it gives your brain and your body this amazing sense of energy because you've all had this unlimited supply of fuel. And then you're not in starvation mode. So your body boosts up its metabolism instead of when you eat all day long these small meals and your body knows that it's only going to get 1,200 calories. It slows down the metabolism. So when you are in a state of ketosis from fasting, it will enhance that fat burning mode. It also gives your gut time to repair that leaky gut. Most of you have leaky gut from standard American diet, processed foods, from sodas, from prescription drugs, antibiotics. Even in my house, we've got protein bars that my kids need because they need something quick to grab. And I just caught my daughter grabbing one when there was some whole food that she could have eaten. Well, even hidden in these high protein, ketogenic, low carb, healthy foods, there's sneaky seed oils and maybe a little bit of some of the artificial sweeteners that could be causing leaky gut. We just don't even know. That's why I always say when you do eat and you're in your fed state, you want to focus on real whole food. But the intermittent fasting gives your gut a time to say, oh, I'm not eating right now. Let's go to work. Let's heal that gut. Fasting also gives you time to detox the tissues, the blood and the cells, improve inflammation in the brain and the body, enhances cognition. Oh my gosh, every time I'm doing or writing an article or doing a podcast, you better believe that I'm fasting. And in fact, today I'm not just fasting, but I will be doing a liver flush later tonight. So that's my day. And it's going to be awesome because I'm going to wake up. My liver is going to be even healthier and happier, and my metabolism will shoot up like it always does. Fasting also enhances that hormonal balance. It actually has been shown to increase testosterone in men significantly, and women as well. And us women, we need that testosterone. It is our hormone to get that lean muscle on, the fat burning, and just our drive, our libido, our motivation in life. It helps reverse estrogen dominance. Most people, especially over the age of 40, are suffering from estrogen dominance because of the toxicity in the environment, in our foods, glyphosate, GMOs, the radiation, all of the toxins that we've been affected by the spike protein. And I've talked a lot about this, where the spike protein is inhibiting the proper function of the ACE2 enzyme. And this is causing more vasoconstriction, fibrosis, an increase in antidiuretic hormone, causing water retention, weight gain that's unexplained, the stress hormones to go up, oxidative stress, inflammation, fibroids, insulin dysregulation. All of these things are being dysregulated even if you are eating the same thing. So say you ate the same, your hormones were the same 3 years ago versus today. That same meal is going to cause an over-exaggerated insulin response than it did 3 years ago because of this disruption in the ACE2 enzyme in the liver. That's why you got to love your liver, and intermittent fasting helps with cleansing your liver on a daily basis, and also with your hormones. It is really disrupting hormones, especially in women with fertility and PMS cycles. The pain, the symptoms are all becoming worse. So if this sounds like you got to pay attention and start incorporating some fasting and some of the supplements I'm going to talk about, and focusing on your liver. So all of these things are being addressed with the fasting, whether it's dirty fasting or clean fasting. So it also will help, fasting will help improve fertility and, believe it or not, strengthen your bones. And if you want more about bone health and osteoporosis, check out my website with some articles about arthritis and osteoporosis, and also some of my podcasts. So the goal of fasting, one of the main goals, is to trigger autophagy. And so this is where the clean versus the dirty fasting can get a little confusing. But if we focus on the goal of triggering autophagy, we're then going to focus on what breaks autophagy and what doesn't. So the term autophagy means self-eating, where cells actually use their own components to rebuild new cells. I think of it as like Pac-Man, going through your body and cleaning up all the bad cells, all the disease cells. Oh, I see a weak cancer cell there, a weak disease cell. We're going to actually recycle that cell, take some of the body parts and use them, and then get rid of the other ones, right? So autophagy is triggered when you are in a state of calorie or energy deprivation, or if you're exercising. So remember, another way to trigger it is to exercise. And that's why I always talk about the importance of exercise. It's so good for you, not over exercising, but doing the right amount, the right kind. And I also go into that in some of my other podcasts and on my website. So you want to make sure you're incorporating exercise. It is stimulated by low levels of insulin and a ketogenic diet, because that puts you into a state of ketosis where your body's burning its fat for fuel. So when your body's burning fat for fuel, it's this clean burning fuel. It's like the Tesla versus the gas guzzling Suburban with all that dirty exhaust. So when you get that fuel going to your brain, that's like why some people with Alzheimer's or dementia or brain fog, when they are in a state of ketosis, that brain fog lifts, because the brain is all of a sudden getting this new fuel system that's clean, and it's reducing inflammation. It's also reducing inflammation in the lungs. So when you're working out, your lungs are not experiencing inflammation. It's easier to breathe, and it's easier to recover from a set. Say you're doing high intensity training, and between sets, you actually have an easier time to recover. That's just one of the benefits. So I love when you're in that state of ketosis. It really feels good, and that energy is really strong. Autophagy helps combat free radicals, which accelerates aging and decline. So in general, let's go down the list. Autophagy might help regenerate aging cells, enhance the anti-aging mechanisms, improve detoxification of heavy metals, toxins, poisons, and radiation, all things that we are all being affected by, improves the immune system, cleans the internal cellular machinery. So remember, it's taking those cellular parts, cleaning up the bad ones and recycling the good ones. It's recycling mitochondria through a process called mitophagy, improves insulin resistance very quickly, improves growth hormone and testosterone, muscle mass, and muscle mass is associated with longevity. So it's really important to keep on that strong muscle mass for that longevity. It helps with decreasing skin sag for those who have lost weight and have loose skin. So if you lose weight, say from a diabetic injection drug like Ozempic, and you're losing fat and muscle at the same time, you're going to end up with skin sag, and you might not get rid of those skin tags. Some of those skin tags are actually from insulin resistant. When you are losing just fat weight and maintaining muscle mass through insulin or through fasting, because you've triggered autophagy, your body's eating up that excess skin, so you don't have the skin sag. It also improves recovery from traumatic brain injuries. I always say when someone has hit their head or they've got a concussion, you've got to get that brain into ketosis, however you do it. So you want to help the brain reduce the inflammation and not feed it glucose to help with that traumatic brain injury. It helps prevent or slow down the progression of Alzheimer's or dementia. And it helps with the protein breakdown to then be recycled. It supports something called mTOR. And then, of course, it helps improve circadian rhythm and sleep, which is everything. So what prevents autophagy from triggering? Number one, not fasting long enough. In general, food is in your stomach for about 4.5 hours, depending on what you eat. Now, if you have an apple versus a ribeye steak, obviously there's going to be a different amount of time that food's in your stomach. Most people count their fasting window from the time they stop eating, but you should actually count from 5 hours after you eat. Autophagy usually begins around hour 17, but that could be different depending on the level of insulin resistance in the body, if you've taken any supplements to help enhance the autophagy, and also if you've engaged in any exercise. Number two, drinking fatty coffee. Even though it doesn't stimulate insulin, it still puts you into a fed state. Ketone bodies stimulate autophagy. Excess calories, whether they come from MCT oil or other fats, could stop autophagy. Number three, supplementing with BCAAs or branch chain amino acids. And a lot of weightlifters will use these during their fasted state, thinking that they're not breaking a fast, supporting muscle gains. But if you're taking them, take them during exercise. They still may kick you out of ketosis. And a lot of people actually think that they could cause some fat gain because they are not all of the amino acids. Now, this is different than a supplement called Perfect Aminos, which we'll get into, which is the full gamut of the amino acids that are needed for muscle building. Branch chain amino acids are just a few. Number four, consuming artificial sweeteners. Most fake sweeteners will raise insulin. Aspartame, saccharin, agave, they will all create an insulin response that immediately turns off autophagy. And then what happens is they're triggering your body to expect something sweet. And so then you're going to want something. So you just don't know what's going on. I really recommend staying away from artificial sweeteners during a fasted state. And this is especially diet sodas, because the diet sodas are ripping up your gut, and healing your gut is one of the biggest benefits of fasting. So you're going against what you're trying to do. If you're going to use sweeteners, I would stick to stevia or xylitol and use it just a little bit. Even stevia can back up your liver. This is something that I personally had to learn the hard way, because I love stevia. I realized that I was retaining a ton of water. It did not make sense. I stopped the stevia, and literally within 12 hours, the water weight just flushed out. And it was because it was creating a backup in my liver. Now, your liver has a tipping point, right? So it can function fine with just a little bit, but if you're stacking all of these other toxins on top of it, and then you put a whole bunch of stevia on it, it's not going to be able to handle all of those things that are just hitting it all at once. Number 5, consuming supplements with calories. Now, if you are consuming a ton of supplements, they might add up to some calories depending on what they are. And they could trigger an insulin response, kicking you out of autophagy. Now, does it matter? We're going to get into that in a minute. But if it triggers just a little bit of insulin, then depending on your insulin resistance, you might be able to get quickly back into a state of autophagy. So you've got to think about, are those supplements benefiting you, or are they taking away from your healing that you're trying to get from fasting? Number 6, circadian rhythm. So HGH and autophagy spike between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. And those are the most important hours of sleep. If the body is not asleep during these hours, it will miss out on the benefits of HGH and autophagy. Really important to be getting to bed by 10 p.m. Okay, so that is the way the body is meant to function. Number 7, not doing a prolonged fast. Autophagy reaches its peak at about 72 hours, depending on your goals for fasting. You may want to lengthen your fast beyond 24 hours and extend it to 48 or 72 hours for optimal autophagy effects. Now, if you are not suffering from severe chronic disease or a cancer, do you need to do a 72-hour fast? No. If you do not have fat to lose at all, do I recommend doing a long fast? Not really, but there are benefits. So that is something that you obviously need to discuss with your practitioner and take it on, what are your goals, and look into that. So doing too many prolonged fasts too often. So this could make it so that the body sees the fast as a chronic stressor, and it may start burning muscle for fuel, causing muscle wasting, which will actually kick the body out of ketosis. Now, this is something really interesting. I have a LUMEN that tests my fat burning and my carb burning. And I love fasting. I can easily fast and eat just one meal a day, no brainer. I actually have to force myself to eat a second meal. But if I'm stressed, I can actually find myself in a carb burning state after fasting for a really long time. Why is that? Because my body's stressed out, and then it starts burning the muscle and turning it into glucose. That is not what we want, people, especially after the age of 40. You want to maintain that muscle mass. So the LUMEN is a great tool, and you can find it at sarabantahealth.com. It is a great tool to tell when you are in a fat burning state or a fat or a carb burning state. And you wake up in the morning and it tells you, Did I be fasting overnight? Did I stay in that long fat burning state? Should I continue fasting? And then what it can do is it can actually tell you, okay, I'm at 12, I'm in a fat burning state, but oh my goodness, at 2 p.m., I'm now burning carbs. What does that mean? I fasted too long and I need to have that meal a little earlier than 2 p.m. So hopefully that makes sense. So you can check out the Lumen on sarahbantahealth.com, and that might be a tool that can help you decide how long you should be fasting. Not consuming sufficient nutrients and minerals. It is important to get wild organic animal proteins, minerals, and electrolytes when you are in the fed state, but the essential nutrients help clean out and mobilize the toxins out of the cells during autophagy. And using electrolytes and minerals, we're going to go through them in a bit, during your fasted state can actually enhance the state of autophagy and give you energy. Your energy comes from electrolytes, not from fuel, because all the fuel is on your body. You've got all these awesome fat stores that your body's burning during this state of autophagy. Not exercising. Exercising promotes autophagy, like I mentioned. It mobilizes the fat oxidation and keeps insulin and blood sugar low. Now, during exercise in a fasted state could actually raise your glucose, and that's just temporary because it's pulling the glucose stores out of your muscles and using it. So that's okay. So if you see a rise in your blood glucose, or the Lumen actually shows you burning carbs, that's okay during your exercise. You can use strength training, yoga, walking, high intensity training. They all enhance fasting results. So what breaks a fast? How you know if something breaks a fast is that if you measure your blood sugar before the food or drink and then measure it 30 minutes after consumption, that will tell you if the number rises more than 10 points, you have had a blood sugar and insulin response. And this is a sign that you have broken a fast. So that's a super easy way to know. You can also use the Lumen as well. So liquids that increase fasting benefits, and some of these could be considered dirty, depending on your definition. The ones that increase fasting benefits: water. Hydration is imperative for cellular cleansing and does not break a clean fast or a dirty fast. Coffee. Milky coffee may be considered a dirty fast, but black coffee actually is encouraged during a clean fast and can enhance autophagy. It also helps flush the liver and increase ketones in the body. Make sure it's organic coffee. Make sure. It also something to think about if you have adrenal issues. You might want to stay away from coffee. Coffee also can create a histamine response. So if you're sensitive to histamines, you may want to find like tea instead of coffee. You can also use mineral water. It has no calories and won't trigger an insulin response. Apple cider vinegar. I love this. This is known to lower blood sugar with meals and during fasting, and adding just a little to water can help suppress appetite and actually start breaking down gallstones. And you know me, part of my fasting is to help with the gallstones, the liver stones, and cleansing the liver. Electrolytes and salt. Electrolytes and minerals are important to supplement with during the fast. Like I mentioned, they provide that energy for physical and mental activity, in addition to plumping up the blood volume for cleansing, so the blood can get out the toxins it needs to get out. You want to make sure that the electrolyte mix has minimal calories, if any, and does not have any fake sweeteners or artificial ingredients in general. Believe me, my kids have shown me some of the ones on the market saying, "Mom, this tastes so good. Can I have this one instead of the Olaloa or the quintessential or the accelerated ancient salt?" And I'm like, nope, this is full of junk. Gatorade, junk. not electrolytes. So we want to stay away from that. Hydrogen water. Hydrogen water can have its benefits and contains no calories to break a fast. It's also known to help with cognitive function, neutralize free radicals and oxidative stress, may help alleviate depression, improve insulin resistance, improve the immune system, and increase ATP. All of these factors are benefits of fasting, and hydrogen water enhances those results. And there's the H2 active on my website that is a hydrogen water tablet that you can just put in your water. Super easy to do. MCT oil. This is a big one. This is questionable depending on your goals. MCT is known to enhance the level of ketones in the body, but it provides calories that the body will burn before tapping into its own fat stores. So when I fast, and when I tell people who want to lose weight fasting, you want your body to snack on its own body fat for energy, right? That's snacking. So if you are taking in MCT oil or coconut oil or any of these fatty coffees, that's your body's going to burn those fats before it burns your own body fat. So therefore, if weight loss is the goal, it may inhibit the goal with the extra calories. On the other hand, it may help suppress your appetite so that you can fast longer and consume less calories over the long term. So what is your personality like and what is your goal? That's what it comes down to. Perfect aminos. So I mentioned this before. This provides muscle building amino acids without calories like the other protein powders. It may halt autophagy, but it allows the body to stay in a state of ketosis. Therefore, it depends on what your fasting goals are. There's only 2 calories per serving versus 120 calories of whey protein, for instance. And you can take it in while you're exercising to maintain that muscle mass and burn the fat at the same time. So a lot of people call this lean bulking. A lot of times, if you're trying to gain muscle mass, you have to gain fat at the same time and then lose the fat. This way, with the perfect aminos, you're actually able to gain lean muscle and lose fat at the same time. Okay, liquids that break a fast. Diet soda, get it out of your diet, regardless if you're fasting or not. This stuff is poison. It's not only extremely acidic, it's full of fake colors and chemicals. The artificial sweeteners destroy the gut and trigger an insulin response. I mean, I just gave you a ton of reasons right there. Let's just get this out of our diet. Switch to iced tea and stevia or a sweetener that you like. I'd much rather you have that. We got to get the diet soda out of our diet. This not only breaks the fast, but it also increases sugar cravings to compensate for the insulin release. And it also creates this false energy that's draining the adrenals, spiking cortisol, which is a stress and fat storing hormone. So you actually might be storing fat while you're fasting. I'd actually rather you just drink some fruit juice, which you didn't hear me say that, but at least it's natural. Diet soda's got to be the first thing out of your cupboards and out of your diet. Green juices, well, aren't they healthy? Well, maybe not. They're full of calories, sugar, and they absolutely break a fast. You've taken all the fiber out of it. You've taken out what God put in it. We're not meant to drink 2 huge stalks of celery a day, right? You would never be able to eat that. Nature gave it the fiber to naturally make you stop eating it. All of these people on celery juices are filling their bodies with oxalates and other things that could be detrimental to the body, and they break a fast. They are typically full of plant poisons, including oxalates, lectins, and sulfur. Those things back up the liver and negate any positive effects of fasting. Protein drinks, just like I mentioned when I talked about the perfect aminos, most protein powders are accompanied with calories that halt autophagy and may trigger mTOR. They trigger an insulin response and can actually lead to weight gain. Furthermore, protein powders like pea protein, whey, soy, hemp, they all have inflammatory ingredients and mycotoxins that negate the benefits of fasting as well. I know I just busted a whole bunch of bubbles out there. The protein drinks are something you need to look into, and make sure you're looking at the back of the ones you're drinking and what are the ingredients. Collagen powder. Many people like to put collagen in their coffee. I'm a huge fan of collagen, but does it break a fast? Yes, it most likely halts autophagy. The insulin spike might be minimal. The best way to know is to measure your blood sugar before and after. I like the liquid BioCell Collagen Pure. There's no calories in it. You just take a little sip of it, and I do not see it breaking my fast when I do that. So, how are we going to make the fasting easy? Yes, these supplements might be considered dirty when we are fasting, but I'm talking about supplements that are going to enhance autophagy, enhance weight loss, enhance all of the benefits of fasting that we've talked about. And this is why I've put together the accelerated intermittent fasting kit. I've given you 3 different options, one that's so minimal and easy to do, then the optimal one, then the maximum one. Those all different levels depending on your tolerance for supplements. So they are meant to work synergistically to maximize the benefits of intermittent fasting, providing you with physical and mental energy, suppressing your appetite, encouraging that weight loss and the other benefits. So number one, accelerating iodine. One of the primary health benefits of intermittent fasting is increasing that ATP and mitochondrial health. ATP is the way to anti-age, right? So they are the powerhouses of the cells. And we are seeing over the last couple of years a complete suppression of ATP, also from processed foods, which 62% of your diet of most adults is processed foods full of seed oils and high fructose corn syrup. Those things cause fatty liver disease. Fatty liver disease was not a disease of anybody other than alcoholics before 1980. And now it is running rampant. And then that is truly the pandemic. So we need to increase ATP, and the accelerating iodine is the quickest way to do that. It increases ATP by 18 times, not just for your thyroid, but in all 100 trillion cells of the body. It supports optimal thyroid health, reverses hypothyroidism, which I believe over 9 out of 10 of you are suffering from just in the last couple of years, and Hashimoto's. And it also helps with other metabolic disease, supports your weight loss goals. The thyroid controls the complete endocrine system. It is the master endocrine gland, controlling the adrenals, the gonads, and more. So if it's not functioning properly because of low iodine, there may be a cascade of hormonal and adrenal issues occurring, in addition to just the toxicity that we're being bombarded with and that estrogen dominance I've talked about. Accelerating helps detox the brain of toxins like fluoride, improving mood and cognition. It's also antifungal, antiparasitic, antiviral, antibacterial, helps control pathogens that can inhibit weight loss and cause sugar cravings. You've got to think, if your body is focusing on fighting a bacteria or a virus over here, it's going to slow down its metabolic rate because it's in survival mode. So as the accelerating keeps your immune system strong, it's going to help keep your ATP and your thyroid and your metabolism up. It also increases fat oxidation, caloric burn, physical energy, wound healing, and that awesome thing called healthy apoptosis, which is destruction of disease cells. And this is one of the top benefits of autophagy. There is a direct correlation between iodine and reducing disease cells and foreign pathogens in the body. So Another thing that's happening from the spike protein is this suppression of apoptosis. So we need this healthy apoptosis happening in our body. Next is the accelerated keto, and this is the game changer. It is the key to seamless intermittent fasting and lasting weight loss. It puts the body into fat burning mode or ketosis within 30 minutes. Appetite suppressed and your weight loss mechanisms are triggered, and then it also increases that ATP by 5 to 10 times on top of what the iodine is doing. It improves mental focus, increases performance, suppresses appetite, boosts ketones, converts the fat to your energy. So it's teaching your body how to tackle the fat stores, and then you ride these fat stores of your body and stay in that a state of ketosis. Much easier to support that low carb lifestyle, increases metabolism, maintains long-term weight loss. And what I love about it is there's the other ingredients in the accelerated keto, like L-theanine, and this is known to help defat the liver. So you are defatting your liver on a daily basis. It's breaking down saturated fats into unsaturated fats, and then your body's able to use them much easier. And we gotta love our liver. The liver has to convert stored fat into energy or ketones. So this is going to help it work better. The liver is also where the thyroid hormone converts from T4 to T3, which is tyrosine and 4 and 3 molecules of iodine. And so as the liver functions better, the thyroid's going to work better. The mucal in the accelerated keto also breaks down fats in the body. So it's this extra spark on top of the ketones. The tricotatu in the formula helps increase digestive fire, allowing for an extremely high absorption of ketones. Then we've got the pure caffeine, which is just a fourth cup of a coffee equivalent of caffeine, but it's naturally derived from organic green coffee and does not give you those jitters or the crash that you get from coffee. And then what you do is it's combined with the theacrine and dynamine for this amazing synergistic effect of energy for mental focus, mood, motivation. And we found that they work together. Combined with the ketones, amplifies that clarity and focus. People feel amazing on it. Combined with the accelerated thyroid, most people with anxiety and depression or suboptimal brain function have suboptimal thyroid function, a sluggish metabolism, and unwanted weight gain. And this accelerated thyroid is the most complete thyroid supplement that helps increase metabolism, fat oxidation, brain function, energy, and weight loss, and supports that easy fasting. It's also enhanced with scalar frequencies to detox the thyroid from the heavy metals and the radiation that may be contributing to weight gain. So the benefits are compounded when you combine it with intermittent fasting. Accelerated ancient salt. Salt. Remember the electrolytes when we're fasting. During periods of intermittent fasting, the energy is derived from fat stores, but is also dependent on that intracellular hydration coming from all of the minerals and electrolytes found in accelerated ancient salt. And it's also enhanced with scalar frequencies to optimize the detoxification from your cells, and helps with nausea. And it also helps suppress your appetite if you're fasting and you want to continue or lengthen your fast. Just put a little bit on your tongue. You'll be amazed at how your energy boosts and the appetite is suppressed. So that's the initial kit, the intermittent fasting kit. But then you can add the Cogniblast, which is the brain formula that helps optimize mental focus, energy, and memory in the short term, and then prevents long-term mental decline. And most people lack brain energy when they begin intermittent fasting. So this is a great thing to add in. And also, we want intermittent fast to prevent Alzheimer's and dementia. Cogniblast helps do that. And it also increases ATP production in addition to the accelerated iodine and the accelerated keto. Then you use the accelerated cellular detox powder to soak up all the toxins that you're burning and letting go during fasting, to carry out your body through the colon and your intestines and not burden your liver and your kidneys. So this is an organic formula that soaks up those toxins from heavy metals, foods, and radiation. And the body, as the body's engaging in autophagy, it cleans up those diseased and damaged cells. Many people with gut issues say this is the gut superhero, helps with inflammation, bloat, and constipation, and diarrhea. Then you can add in the liver flush cleanse. So easy to do when you've all been taking the accelerated keto and the other supplements that have slowly been cleaning the liver. The liver flush cleanse literally will prep your liver to let go of hundreds and thousands of stones out of the liver into the toilet. And it will help improve the breakdown of proteins and fats, which a lot of people are having an issue with fat metabolism and protein metabolism. It eliminates cramps, inflammation. It can lower your AST and your ALT liver enzyme counts. It replaces damaged liver cells with healthy ones, reverses fatty liver, eliminates thousands of toxins and pollutants, reverses drug and alcohol liver damage, helps with eliminating the cholesterol deposits, and boosts the immune system. Adding in then the Nuke No More. During intermittent fasting, the body's detoxing heavy metals and radiation, which could be causing your weight gain. Nuke No More is the only formula that I know that supports the removal of harmful, non-ionizing and ionizing radiation, including the EMFs that we are being exposed to. You can then add in some of the stem cell activation patches like the X49, which helps with reducing body fat, increasing energy, and recovery after exercise, helps with cardiovascular function. The energy enhancer patch increases caloric burn, fat loss, and metabolic rate. I feel it. The ATP also increases, helps with cellular function. And then, of course, the X39, which is going to reset your genes to a younger state, over 4,000 genes. So just doing that with your intermittent fasting and all of these supplements, that is going to just enhance the benefits, and all of these things work synergistically together. Now, when you break a fast, because I want to touch on that, it's really important to break a fast with wild animal protein. You can also break a fast with and use the Leaky Gut Bundle to feed the gut that really great prebiotic and the mega mucosa, the mega pre and the mega mucosa that are going to help heal that gut. As you're doing that, that's going to really set your microbiome in a good spot. And then when you have the wild animal protein full of the nutrients, that's going to give you a bump in the glucagon to insulin ratio and actually gives you more fat burning. So you do not want to break your fast with a diet soda or a McDonald's burger or some processed foods, because that's going to wreak havoc on your microbiome. And we just did a whole bunch of work with intermittent fasting and some of these supplements to heal the gut. There's some other supplements you can use. Laxa Comfort helps with the constipation issues. Berberine actually helps with getting your blood sugar down even more. And you want to make sure you're hydrating. Be consistent, whatever that means to you. So however you fast, it doesn't have to be clean or dirty. There's a whole gray area in between that can make it easy and consistent for you, whatever is doable. And as far as the supplements go, do what's doable for you without getting overwhelmed, and clean up the diet as much as you can, but don't get overwhelmed. Exercise around the meal time, eliminate the processed foods, eliminate the fake sweeteners. All of these things are going to help you. So let me know what you learned today. Have you been doing dirty fasting? Have you been doing clean fasting? What supplements or drinks make it doable for you? I'd love to learn more from you. Thanks for joining me today. And if I can help you, contact me directly through the website, sarahbantahealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you, and leave a comment below. If you're struggling with weight loss, or you're struggling with inflammation or arthritis, brain fog, hormonal issues. What is the issue? Could this help you? Let me know. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and to be the first person to watch my new podcast every week, Mondays and Tuesdays, and join the free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health, and you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey. It's funny, you will start with just maybe one supplement, learn, and then take in one more thing that you can change in your diet and your sleep habits and your exercise, and you all of a sudden will be in a whole different place with your health just from the coaching. The protocols and supplements I discuss are at sarahbantahealth.com. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, across over 100 channels under Accelerated Health Radio or TV and radio show. And join me every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific and Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific. Use coupon WELCOME10 for 10% off site-wide. Thanks again for joining us here on Accelerated Health TV and Radio Show, and have a great week.